Well, once the target of mainly school libraries, book ban efforts are now rising sharply in public libraries. A report by the American Library Association says book challenges were up 16% over the first half of 2023. That's almost 2,000 more compared to the same period back in 2022.
Yeah, this week state lawmakers met with library advocates to discuss capital funding. But as CBS 6's Tom Eschen reports, managing book bans requires just as much support as those infrastructure needs.
Tim Burke is the executive director of the Upper Hudson Library System. He's been a librarian for 40 years.
So the good news is that libraries are still thriving, still making a difference in their community every single day.
But he says the public library system is also facing challenges, which includes book ban movements.
It puts more pressure on people to do the work and feel like some segment of the community is kind of questioning how they do it and what they do.
Those challenges can come with financial costs and strained budgets.
Library advocates like Max Prime say to avoid those costs, parameters need to be in place to keep the process fair. A place where Carrie Werner, the Assembly Chair of the Libraries and Education Technology Committee, says the state can step in.
They should be robust enough to be to have it be true that the community is going to feel like if they have a concern, it will be dealt with in a constructive and thoughtful way. However, whatever the decision is on the as a result of that process.
Legislation has been proposed to help facilitate those operational needs. And it's not just legislation these advocates are pushing for, but also funding, especially when it comes to infrastructure. This roof atop the Waterford Public Library is about 125 years old. They were one of the few libraries in the Capital Region to receive some of that library construction aid here in the last budget, of which the state allocated $34 million across the state.
We really appreciate that amount of money, but it's also just inadequate for the need that exists out there.
But that's just part of the $1.75 billion in library construction needed from now until 2027. That's the construction side of things. The state budget for library funding allocated $96.1 million this year in total.
$96.1 million is below where we were in 2007 statewide library funding. We were at $102.6 million.
Werner says a possible solution to unlocking more funding, mobile gaming revenue. It hit a high of $165 million in September alone. It's meant to support education, which Werner says should include libraries.
Let's look at the mobile gaming revenue and carve off a small percentage of that mobile gaming revenue and dedicate it to library funding.
It is funding they say won't just make the building better, but the processes inside it better as well. Reporting here from Waterford, Tom Eschen, CBS 6 News.